In the sun-drenched savannas of Africa, where the wind whispers tales of survival and the relentless pursuit of prey, an unusual horror lurks amidst the beauty. Picture a cheetah, the embodiment of speed and grace, yet now it stands as a grotesque testament to the horrors of nature. A horrifying barnacle wound glistens on its flank, a bizarre and unsettling spectacle that seems plucked from the very pages of a macabre horror story. At first glance, you may question what brings such a horrifying affliction to this magnificent creature. But as we delve deeper, prepare to uncover a world where nature's brutality dances hand in hand with the grotesque. Barnacles, these unassuming crustaceans, are often associated with ships and rocks, but in an astonishing twist, they have found themselves a new home, the fur of unsuspecting animals. It is rare, perhaps even bizarre, but barnacle infestations can occur on larger mammals, including our agile predator. These malevolent hitchhikers latch onto the cheetah's skin, embedding themselves into the fur like grotesque ornaments. They feast not only on moisture and debris, but also on the very blood of their host as they burrow deeper, causing irritation and severe inflammation. The wound festers, a painful and distressing sight, transforming the cheetah's once pristine coat into a battleground of survival against its own body. This macabre relationship is indicative of nature's unyielding horror and beauty combined. What may seem like a random act of nature is, in fact, a startling reminder of the delicate balance between species. Such infestations are a cry for help, a reflection of a habitat troubled by climate change and human encroachment. The very ecosystem that once nurtured this cheetah has turned hostile, forcing it into a state of vulnerability that many may not survive. The barnacles, while sinister in their attachment, are merely surviving in a world increasingly dominated by humans. Our activities have disrupted the natural order, leaving these animals to grapple for their very existence, while inadvertently becoming hosts for creatures that would normally thrive away from such foes. Perhaps the true horror lies not solely in the barnacle infestation, but in the awareness that we, as stewards of this planet, have neglected. In the mysterious depths of the ocean, where sunlight barely penetrates and shadows dance with every ripple, a massive creature glides silently through the water. This majestic leviathan is none other than a whale, but today it carries a haunting secret, a horrific wound, a grotesque reminder of the dark side of marine life. The whale swims on, blissfully unaware of the grotesque transformation that has overtaken its body. Warns. Beyond the serene exterior is a nightmarish world of barnacle infestation, an alarming tale that intertwines beauty with a grotesque reality, holding a mirror to the often overlooked aspects of nature. As we dive deeper into this tale, we can't help but feel a chill run down our spine. The whale, an archetype of grace and power, is a victim of an unexpected foe. Barnacles, these tiny crustaceans encrusted on the whale's skin, have taken up residence in a symbiotic relationship that has gone horribly wrong. While most living creatures maintain a balance in their ecological relationships, these barnacles have morphed into a grotesque army, invading the whale's vast expanse of skin with such ferocity that the wound resembles a horrifying landscape of dark, bumpy growths protruding menacingly from the whale's once smooth body. Barnacles begin their life as free-swimming larvae, floating along with the ocean currents in search of a suitable surface to settle on. As nature would have it, a whale's skin serves as an ideal real estate opportunity, expansive, warm, and teeming with nutrients from the water. Once barnacle larvae land on a whale, they attach themselves using a strong, adhesive secretion, a choice that ultimately leads to their demise and the whale's distress. They mature into hardened adults, encasing themselves in thick, calcareous shells, creating growths that can measure in size from a coin to that of a grapefruit. If the whale is unfortunate enough to host an infestation of these tenacious hitchhikers, picture this: the whale, swimming majestically through its oceanic domain, is an unintended host to thousands of these barnacles. The pressure they exert on the whale's skin can lead to infections, impairing the healthy healing process of the whale's natural defenses. Each small barnacle acts individually, but together they orchestrate a cruel symphony of pain, damage to the underlying tissues, soreness, and even chronic inflammation, an unprecedented attack on an animal that is otherwise at the top of the marine food chain. The irony of this invasive relationship is striking. A creature so small effectively inflicts wounds upon one of the largest animals. In the heart of a sun-drenched pasture, where the air is thick with the sweet scent of wildflowers, a dark and unsettling scene unfolds. Picture an ox, a creature typically associated with strength and resilience, now reduced to a grotesque tableau of suffering. Its once mighty frame is marred by a horrific wound, a gaping cavity that seems to pulse with life, but not the kind one would hope for. This is no ordinary injury. It is the result of a bee infestation that has taken hold in a most disturbing manner. As we draw closer, the sight becomes increasingly repulsive. The wound, a festering hive, is alive with the frantic movement of bees, their tiny bodies writhing in a chaotic dance. They buzz incessantly, a sinister symphony of nature's darker side, as they burrow deeper into the flesh of the ox, seeking refuge and sustenance in a place that should be a sanctuary. The ox, a gentle giant, stands helplessly as the bees invade its body, turning it into a living host for their colony. This is not merely a case of bad luck. It is a stark reminder of the intricate and often brutal relationships that exist within the natural world. The bees, driven by instinct, have found a perfect breeding ground in the soft tissue of the ox, where they can thrive and multiply. The wound, once a simple cut or scrape, has become a hive of activity, a grotesque nursery for the next generation of bees. The ox's body, a canvas of suffering, tells a story of survival, but not in the way one might expect. As we delve deeper into this unsettling phenomenon, we must confront the reality of bee infestations. These tiny creatures, often celebrated for their role in pollination and honey production, can also become agents of destruction when their instincts lead them astray. In the stark, icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sun barely pierces the endless white, a chilling sight unfolds. A polar bear, the majestic ruler of this frozen realm, bears a gruesome wound that tells a harrowing tale of nature's darker side. This bear, once a symbol of strength and resilience, now drags its massive frame with a grotesque hive embedded in its flesh, a testament to an unusual and horrific infestation. The hive, a pulsating mass of writhing bees, has taken root in the bear's back, a nightmarish scene that evokes both horror and fascination. As the camera zooms in, the viewer is confronted with the stark reality of this bizarre phenomenon. The bees, typically harmless pollinators, have turned into a parasitic nightmare, feasting on the bear's flesh while simultaneously creating a home within its body. This unsettling relationship between the polar bear and the bees is not merely a freak occurrence. It is a reflection of the delicate balance of ecosystems and the unforeseen consequences of environmental change. As climate shifts disrupt natural habitats, bees are forced to adapt in ways that can lead to such grotesque infestations. The polar bear, already struggling against the encroaching effects of global warming, now faces an additional threat from these tiny creatures, whose sting is far more than just a nuisance. The hive, teeming with life, is a stark reminder of nature's brutality, where survival often comes at a horrific cost. Yet, as we delve deeper into this dark narrative, we must confront the uncomfortable truth: humans, in their relentless pursuit of progress, have played a significant role in this macabre tale. Habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change have not only endangered the polar bear, but have also forced bees into desperate adaptations. The irony is palpable. In the heart of the countryside, where tranquility usually reigns, a harrowing scene unveils itself. A creature of majesty now caught in the merciless grip of nature's darker side. A once beautiful horse, noble and proud, stands before us, its flank marred by a horrific wound that tells a tale of suffering and an abhorrent invasion. At first glance, the sight might elicit a gasp, but it also draws us into a world where the delicate balance between man, beast, and nature is shattered. The wound, a gaping hole blackened and oozing, is far from an ordinary injury. What you see is not just a mere scratch, nor is it a simple case of rough play among farmlands. It is a sanctuary for hundreds, perhaps thousands of bees, an infestation that has morphed this once majestic animal into an unwilling host. Infected and swollen, flesh has been replaced by clusters of honeybees that have made their home inside the poor beast. A gruesome testament to nature's opportunistic cruelty. As we delve deeper into this grotesque reality, it is crucial to understand that bees can often find their way into the most unsuspecting of hosts. The horse, perhaps attracted to the aroma of a nearby wildflower patch, unknowingly trod too close to what could only be described as a beehive's hellish retreat. Each sting left behind a tale of betrayal. The horse's skin, once an impenetrable fortress, became the perfect canvas for these relentless invaders. It is a tardy understanding of the animal's suffering that compels us to observe closely. The injury is inflamed, a roadway of busy bees and festering wounds, with the sound of buzzing echoing the nature of survival in the most grotesque of forms. As the bees bore deeper into the horse's tissue, it's easy to wonder how such a calamity could unfold. Naturally, bees tend to seek warmth and safe havens. They are attracted by the scent, and this unfortunate horse became the unwitting provider of both. The horse's body, a once grand vessel of life and grace, has morphed into a breeding ground for winged aggressors. This predicament is a reminder that while bees often symbolize hard work and community,